Hey ladies and gents, this is Wiz here with the review of the Cosmic Legion's Olek Thygar Gravering action figure from Horsemen Toy Design Studios. Really much anticipated, long awaited. It's been actually a couple of years since the Four Horsemen announced this line, but we had COVID delays. We had a bunch of stuff that delayed this guy, but I think everybody out there is gonna really agree that it was well worth the wait. This is a whole new line. This is not Mythic Legions, although you can pop and swap and the parts are compatible. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what the community does by popping and swapping and exchanging heads and body parts and all that with Mythic Legions. But this is its own thing. Whole new packaging for this. Once again, designed by the art is done by Nate Barch, and these are not as collector friendly, but they're very, very attractive boxes. In the back, we have all the nostalgic goodness of this area here, showing us all the figures that came in this wave. If you want to read some of the text, you can pause it there, but it's got the cast of characters responsible for all these wonderful creations. It's Four Horsemen Toy Design. And then it has Havalkatar Book 1. I won't read that because that's I think information that's on all the boxes, but I will read Olek Thygar's Gravering bio here on the side of the box. It says, in the prison Havalkatar, the offenses of violent outbursts, open defiance, and attempted escape are all grounds for cell transfer to the Gravering. Multiple instances of all three of these offenses have earned Olek Thygar a spot in that dreaded block of cells. Uninitiated and unpracticed, Thygar's early days in the fighting arena have been clumsy and perilous. But as a quick study with a vengeful instinct, his newfound skill combined with ceaseless tenacity have placed Thygar as a rising star in the ring. Now accessing abilities he never thought possible, Olek Thygar is on the verge of becoming something altogether different and possibly greater than before. So in the front, we have a sort of holographic or image of the actual figure, I believe that's there. And then it explains Gravering, the cells where he is held and forced to fight. The new Cosmic Legions boxes also contain the Cosmic Legions. Really, really wonderful logo there. And then this is the Gravering logo. Top, we have the 4H symbol sort of carved into a planet. I love that. Just a beautiful job. And then the other cool thing is that when you open up the box, there's the other Cosmic Legions sort of art that we've been teased with, and I hope we get a figure with that configuration on it, is you get the facsimile of a little cell. So you can set it up on your IKEA shelves or whatever and put your prisoners, should you so desire. So enough about the packaging, which is wonderful. Kudos to Nate Barch on all that art. And it is a little more difficult to get the figures out, obviously, than the Mythic Legion packaging because it's not collector friendly. There's more of those plastic inserts in there. There's more tape that you have to deal with. But all in all, a lovely job on the packaging. So here is Olek Thygar, the main man. I've seen iterations of this guy back when Eric was sculpting him in Glyos scale, so like around that big. And he's refined the look and the character, and what we have is nothing short of a masterpiece. So another thing Mythic Legions collectors are excited about is this obviously gives us a great base for dragon kind or dragonborn characters, which we've already seen that we're getting, but also for customs as well, because it's got scaly skin and it's got all these wonderfully sculpted details. And this is a main character. We know that because he's getting two figures in this wave. One of him with this face and without a spacesuit, and then this one, which looks incredibly regal. And I'm guessing he's a leader of the rebellion. And, he's going around committing offenses in prison because he wants to get out. I'm guessing he is a noble character who's maybe been wrongfully imprisoned. I can just tell from his face that he's no common criminal, and obviously the bio indicates that there's a lot going on there, and he's accessing powers that he didn't know he had. So, and here is one of the accessories. It's a spaceship, which is kind of cool. First time we've seen this sort of accessory, but it's a holograph and it's green and it pops out of this port in his gauntlet. So he can take a look at that while he's planning or calling or accessing, which is likely something that he's not supposed to be doing while he's in prison. The weapon is a staff, and it's got a couple of different interesting configurations that I will show you. He does not have punching hands, so I'm thinking that that's his primary weapon, and he doesn't just use brute force or fists. But the different configurations we have are the ball with a chain on it. So I'm guessing his staff changes so that you can use this ball as sort of a mace and whip it around. And I don't know if you can see this, but there's a wonderful patina on this chain so that it looks like it has a bit of rust to it, a bit of antiquity, a little bit of rust here around the ball, but obviously that matches the ball that's here on the staff. And then we get a staff without the ball on it. So it's a bit shorter, and I'm guessing that he breaks this into its component parts, or it activates it, and he has a staff and he has a mace to deal with. But I love just how the basic staff looks, as well as I like these alternate weapons. So those are two weapons, and the staff and that chained mace that he has as accessories. And then this is the main one that I'm going to pose him with, because I think he looks positively regal with that. The only issue that I can see with the figure is I think the head sits up a little too high on the neck. And I did get a test shot of this, and there was that problem before, and it's been improved. But I have seen people fixing that by dremeling the head a little bit and sitting it down on the figure to change the profile just a tiny bit. That's an easy fix should you so desire. It still looks fine like that. There is just a little bit of that gap. The one thing it does give is very broad range of motion. So that is cool. So, but if you want the head to sit a little lower, that, like I said, dremeling a little bit of it. I've seen people also remove the ball joint, shave a tiny, tiny bit off the bottom of the neck, reattach it. And, if your figure has that issue, that's like I said, an easy fix. I'm just going to leave mine because I don't think it's really that big of a deal, but I just thought I'd mention that because there was that little gap. He also has, this is interesting. This pops out. This piece pops out. Haven't really had a chance to warm these figures out. But as you can see, it has the same peg holes here for pauldrons, in case you would want to armor him up for some reason. But the cover just snaps in there really tightly, and it's very seamless if you don't want him armored or whatever. I just love all the wonderful subtlety of the paint job here, all the little cracks and crevices, and very cool. He has 4 fingers on each hand, and he has multiple hands. I've already swapped this out so he can be gesticulating there like he has the force. I'm really wondering what goes on with this 3 it's like maybe eyes or some sort of sensory organ that pops out of the middle of his forehead, because he's got multiple configurations and not all of them have that. So I'm guessing when those powers are engaged, that's when those third eye, maybe the all-seeing eye or some sort of power that he can fight with, so he doesn't need guns, he doesn't need his fist, right? And if he was just a, two-fisted puncher, just your regular guy, I think he would have come with punching hands, but he doesn't. He comes with all these different hands. So let me show you that. That there could be a gesticulating hand, and he's got these hands with both a hinge and a side-to-side hinge as well, so he could hold a sword. So some of the hands are exactly the same, but the hinge, little attention to detail there, is different. So this would be just a regular wrist hinge, but then there's another one where it goes side to side. He could also do the Vulcan salute sort of with that hand. That's a gesticulating hand. So there's a trigger finger hand, right? In case he does get a hold of a gun for some reason. But I know that if those were his primary weapons, the 4 horsemen would have given him a gun, but they didn't. So, and then another hand, holding hand. So that's 3. And then the 4th one is the other holding hand from the other side. But this one has, this has the up and down, motion thing. So if he holds like his staff or a sword or whatever aloft. So there's 4. And then another trigger finger hand. And that one has the post that moves up and down. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 hands plus the 2 that he comes with are more than enough to, do whatever. But he doesn't come with the punching hands, and I think that there is a reason for that. I can't wait to find out more about the lore and about this character so that they explore that. Let me do a little comparison of him size-wise to the Monkey King that the 4th Horseman just came out with, and is now my favorite figure that they've ever come out with. I think edging out Zethius. And you'll see that they basically spare no expense, because the staff for the Monkey King could have been repurposed, or this could have been used for the Monkey King staff. But no, all new tooling for that staff, and different size, and this staff is completely different. So love the Monkey King, but I also love this figure as well. And let me put him up against Leodicius there so you get a comparison size. That's a 1.0 figure. That I've modified a little bit here. Before I end this review, I just want to say that, you know, we've waited for these a long time. They do not disappoint. I love the feel of the figure. I love the way it's colored, and everything about it. I love the panoply of characters. I can't believe all this new tooling that we're getting. The paint is top notch. The sculpt is, as always, top notch from Eric Treadaway. It's what we've learned to expect. It's what sets him apart from all the other toy sculptors out there. But the one thing I do want to say is, because I'm reviewing a new line, I had to get a new backdrop. I couldn't just use the same old Schleiss castle that I've used for, I don't know, over 400 reviews. And I want to thank Owen O-Dog Ortling, who used to work for the Four Horsemen, for putting this together for me. He works at McFarlane now, but he's a superstar. And when he knew I needed a new dio, he took, in a few hours, he just whipped this up, and I think it looks magnificent. Thank you, Owen, for that. And I can't wait to show you guys the rest of these figures. My intent, I don't know if I'll be able to pull it off, is to review one figure a day until we're all finished. So, here's the Wiz, signing out.